Hi guys. Today I have work, but I just decided to make this short video. Not really short, but well, anyway, first of all, Happy New Year to everyone. I really look weird here because I'm using Zoom to record this because I want to share screen. So I want to see how it goes. But before I start my work in about 10 minutes, maybe more than that. So today I'm going to be talking about Philippine politics and how does it affect foreigners like you? Like how would a Filipino's decision and the next president would affect you as a foreigner who's planning to live in the Philippines and why is it important? So it's really, really important. So let's start. First of all, I would like to tell you that I couldn't really mention, sorry, that's filter, my favorite presidential. And right now, I didn't register to vote. It is because, um, trying to register to vote here in Japan right now, it's really troublesome. Like, it's really troublesome. It's something that I don't want to go through. And nor because of this pandemic, it's open, close, open, close. Well, Philippine embassy is always like that. So anyway, happy New Year again. Let me introduce you first to our presidentials. So let me share it with you. Can you see that? I hope you can. This is Panfilo Lacson. What is his background? He was a former PNP chief, that is Philippine National Police chief. And as you know, this guy right here, he's quite popular already. He is Manny Pacquiao, the boxer and a philanthropist. So he did a lot of things. And then he was a former actor turned politician. So he's the current mayor of Manila, Isko Moreno. And Leonor Dobredo, she's the current vice president. So what is her political background? I'm not really sure. I think she was like, I don't know. But she's the wife of a former congressman or governor. And then, of course, Sara Duterte Carpio. Now she's not running for the office, but she's here. Anyway, and her tandem, so we say partners or tandem, Marcos Jr. So as you know, for those who have been in the Philippines during the 1970s, I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with the name Marcos. So this is his son. Now, what I know is that they all have these goals for the Philippines, for example, to eradicate poverty, to give, better future for the Philippines. And they have these good goals as well, and as well as like they electricity conservation. So some of them they want to do that. Um, they have these goals that are achievable and non-achievable as well as of now because of COVID. And of course, what would they do? Because apparently, I think most elected leaders in this year, they would be inheriting a regime that is actually devastated by the pandemic, and then a lot of things like lack of jobs. So about 10% of Filipinos um, are a little, yeah, not jobless yet, jobless I think, or 12%, and then 10% of people feel poor. But the good news is, from 2016, about 15% of Filipinos felt poor, but it dropped to 10% from 2020, and as of now, 2022, it's about 10%. I don't know why they feel that way, but anyway, maybe we have jobs, but a lot of people lost their jobs. So yeah, they have these kinds of goals. Now, what does it mean for us, for you as well? Foreigners who wanted to go home. Well, I don't consider myself as a foreigner, but I am outside the country. So yeah, it has a huge impact for both of us, I guess. So number one, whoever is voted here, they would have a different idea of how to lead the country, and whoever is supported, they would have a different, idea. What are the goals of person of each individual right here? Most of them they want to eradicate poverty, which is a promise that has been told several times in my country, but it was really difficult because it has to be done like not only by the government but also by the people. And then number two, they also have to eradicate, to make sure people are safe. Now, number one, poverty. How does it affect us? As you know, when there's poverty, there's crime. Well, corruption cannot disappear because it's really there. I mean, men are born with corruption. Even me, if I'm a politician, I'm rich. No, just kidding. So, yeah, if you are a politician in the Philippines or anywhere in whichever country, there's a corruption. So that is something that I wouldn't tackle. So number one, it's poverty. Poverty, it's the effect of many social problems in the country. Each of them, they have goals about it, but how would it benefit us if there's poverty? Well, if people are impoverished, maybe some other countries might take advantage of them. But on the other hand, if people are poor, they also become too street smart and then they take advantage of other people. So that's also not good. And at the same time, there is no goal. So, for instance, like I send money to the Philippines, you send money to your girlfriend. Because of poverty and lack of education on how to handle their finances, it's not going to work out. I'm not saying you're wasting money, but it's just going to be there. It's going to be a never-ending support. That's why it's crucial that the person you're helping has a goal, and whichever one of them has that goal. I only watched one actually, Marcos, because he's the first one that I saw on TV. He's quite popular when he talks about it. So his plan was to develop agriculture. Now, what does it mean if they develop agriculture for us? I think food will be more affordable. Lack of, during this pandemic, we had, and also typhoons. We had food scarcity, and then we have to order from other countries, which is ridiculous. When back in 1970s, even when I was younger, I used to read that my hometown was the rice, supplier of the Philippines, which is Pampanga, but recently, no. So those things. And when you do agriculture, they can create jobs and so on. As for others, they just said they will try to develop jobs and further education. How about Manny Pacquiao? I think right now he was saying like the continuous financial support, especially Lenny Roberto. I think that's okay, but it's just gonna be a cycle. I think financial and livelihood programs would be good. Although I am not a professional, so I couldn't say. Now, number two, another thing that they will tackle is safety. So as you know, if there's poverty, there's safety problems. Safety problem is a huge deal in the Philippines, and it's really, really scary. So during when Duterte came in power, drug addicts and so on. So they died and all of that. But some of them, some of the presidentials, especially Lenny Robredo and Moreno, I think they're against that, the eradication of course, they want to eradicate drugs, but not in a way where people would die or something like that. But I have my own views in that. So sorry, I don't want to mention it. So it's very important for us to be safe. Now, Mira, it doesn't matter if it's safe or not. It does. Actually, if a country is safe, rent rents might go higher, or they can be affordable. Even us, even when you're a foreigner, you would go home. It's gonna be cheap. Wherever you live, you can live in a cheap place or an expensive place. You can benefit from its safety. For instance, in Japan, of course, there are like tower mansion. They call them tower mansion or tower condominiums. They have concierge, security, and all. But even though you walk outside in the middle of the night, like I can say 90 to 95%, it's still safe. And I never feared using my bag. This is the country where I wore those light bags. Sometimes my bags is open, anything like that. So if you're planning to return to the Philippines and it's safe, it's a good sign, right? I mean, you don't have to worry about, and you can save a lot of money when you're renting money, because I believe that as a foreigner, when you rent something, you're also paying for your safety. Unlike for Filipinos, if we live in a just a simple house, simple rent and all, we don't have to worry about our neighbors and something like that. It's fine. So next one, internet and I don't want to say, yeah, one of the questions that I heard, and it's a huge thing right now, it's about pornography. So it's really not, apparently Philippines is one of the biggest countries which, deals with that. And it's very embarrassing and sad because some parents are the ones who are pushing to do those things to their kids. Now, it's, I think a lot of Filipinos don't know that because we are the supplier and we are not the clientele. So it's really, really annoying. And so a lot of these residential codes, they want to eradicate that, or, they really want to work with international police to handle that. Maybe I'll talk about that in the future. And then next one. Okay. Next one is energy, the usage of renewable or sustainable energy. Is it good or bad? Of course, it's good. Not if we have that, it's gonna be really, really affordable for us to have electricity. Would you believe that in Japan, I would use air conditioner, heater, all of those kinds of things. Like summer, I use air conditioner, winter heater, and then, bathtub and so on. But my grandma's house, wherein they have two televisions and then just lights without gas, because gas is different, they pay the same amount as I do. That's how expensive it is in the Philippines when it comes to electricity. That's why sometimes it's better to rent out like a place. Like some people or some foreigners, they prefer to stay in a condo hotel because everything is paid. So yeah, so that's his goal. But their goals are more on poverty and safety, of course. Now, how about next one? Abortion. So, believe it or not, they were tackling on abortion. We are a Catholic country, and most of them they disagree. They're planning to do the holistic thing, but right now they also want to have it. Um, a lot of Filipinos are requesting for it, especially those who have been, assaulted by terrible people that they should be punished accordingly, but they still have to keep the baby because if you try to remove the baby, you can go to prison as well. So that is also no. Now, yeah, that's one of the things that they tackle. Now, how does it affect you as a foreigner planning to the Philippines? I don't know. It doesn't really affect you. It might affect your girlfriend and so on. Now, divorce. As you know, we don't have divorce in the Philippines. Most of them, they agree. It's already in the Senate, and then they're still discussing it. I think for our next administration, there would be more possibility. Now, what's in it for us? If there is divorce, we don't have to worry about paying a lawyer, which, if they accept your case, you might pay about 50,000 pesos to 40,000, 60,000 pesos if you have a good one. 4 hours per 4,000 pesos for hearing or $100. Then if they're gonna fix your paper, that's gonna be like 16,000 pesos for judicial affidavits. So it's not cheap to actually hire a lawyer in the Philippines. So it's a huge thing, not only for Filipinos in the Philippines, but also Filipinos abroad. If they want to get a divorce, it's way much easier. And also, if you want to marry someone, you don't have to spend that much money, right? Now, but on the other hand, some people, they said like, oh, if Philippine economy would go well, it would be too expensive to retire for foreigners there. But I don't think so, because look at Thailand, it's still it was the fastest growing economy before, including Malaysia, and even Malaysia is good, even Indonesia, but they're a little bit more expensive than the Philippines, but it doesn't mean that the value, retirement is still possible and it's still warm. So, but most of them, the good thing about these people, they want to continue the projects, for instance, the build, where infrastructures are being built. And that's really good for everyone, not only for me, not only for Filipinos back in the Philippines, but also for you guys. So when you travel to the Philippines, you don't have to worry about, you know, Uber, uberly expensive transportation, and there's also a possibility that, you know, running a business would be fine for you. So, and the best thing is, most of them, they want to make a lot of process easier. So we already have a one-stop shop for OFWs or overseas Filipinos, but right now they're gonna build like a department for it, and that is really really good. But most of all, yeah, I think the best one is just, you know, like the infrastructures, they will continue it, and that's good. They're already building a subway and a railway. So to Manila, to my hometown. So I'm really happy because it's gonna make it to my hometown. And because my hometown, as you know, it's a former US Air Base. US Air Base is huge. Like it occupies about, if I would, you know, like drive from end to end, it would occupy around 3, 4, 5 towns. So it's huge. So anyway, yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and please ask your girlfriend. This is a nice topic because it's a huge topic in the Philippines. Like, who would they vote and why would they vote them? And come tell me. And how about you? What kind of president do you want the Philippines to have? Do you guys believe in political dynasties? Please tell me about it. And no hate, no fighting. I'm not promoting anyone. I'm just telling you the things that might benefit us if some of them would win, and disadvantages as well. So anyway, have a nice day. Bye. I have to work. Okay. Bye.